this is Melissa with the Stock Swoosh, LLC, period. My name is Melissa Armo, and I'm here tonight to discuss with you ZUMZ. This was a gap down that happened today, and it was a failed gap down. Surprise, surprise, there was like 5 or 6 bearish gaps this week that failed on the day, but then had followed through a continuation the following day or later in the afternoon. I'm going to do some videos on those later. For tonight, right now, we're going to discuss this one. I did this first thing. I was up in this first thing, and then I got popped out. Then I retook it. Then I was up in it, and I was up more in it than I was before the time I got out. And luckily, I got out because then it blew up. You see this tail down here. This is what I played with, this tail in here, shorting it. And it flipped around. I was out way before it flipped around, thank goodness. In fact, where did it open? 1901. Yeah. I have no explanation for why this did what it did. It really was a nice gap. It was a very nice gap. It held 1858. And I've been studying this and trying to see why. Why did this hold 1858? Where is the number in here? You know, I mean, actually, I see 1862 in here now, and it was struggling at 1862. It was struggling at 1862 when it was trading. In the moment there, it was the low of that bar is 1862. In the moment when I was in this thing, it was struggling at that 62 area. Ding down, it looks like 4 pennies, and then that's where it flipped. And what are you going to do? I mean, this is just sometimes what happens with these things. They just don't work. The momentum in this today was not down. It looked like it was going to be down in the morning. It set up to work. It had a move and then flipped around and failed. How would you have known to take it out? You have to monitor your positions. You have to watch when the bars start to tell you that there's a problem or something's wrong. And how did I know that? Okay, it opened. It rallied up a little bit. I don't have a problem with that. Did a pop over the high of the day here, but it held itself at 1950. That's fine too. Then it did a 5-minute sell setup drop down here. This was a nice drop. I was in this drop. However, I was trying to get it down really to like 17s. I was trying to get it down to 17. At some point then I was just trying to get it down to 1825 or 18, but after it came in here and fell down and didn't have a continuation here, I actually lowered my stop over 1888 in this bar. Now this thing was spready. It would go from 1 cent to 6 cents to 7 cents. It was doing it all morning, and it was trading very jerky. Very jerky. I don't remember doing this beginning of November, but I didn't have any problems with it then. And today, it was just jerky, jerky, jerky. So then it held itself, reset up back here at 10 o'clock, which is the reversal time. And remember, I showed you the market was rallying up and doing a 5-minute buy then. So I was happy with this thing. Everything's fine. Goes down here. Does not go under the low here. Does not go under the low here. I could have taken it off in here. I actually waited and lowered my stop and put it at 1881. I said, I don't want this to do a 5-minute buy setup. I lowered my stop, then I wasn't going to keep it over 88. I really could have gotten out here if it didn't go down again. I was giving this too many excuses. I was giving it too many excuses because I like the gap, and I'm glad I didn't give it every excuse in the world. I'm glad I lowered my stop here because I got taken out on this bar. And then you know what? People got hurt in this bar. This popped up like that, and it was out of control then. And then I never retook it. Didn't retake it here. I knew then after this pop, it wasn't going to work right on the day. Should have gone down lower here. Didn't. And then after this kind of jerky pop, I said, first of all, this thing is jerky. And second of all, I don't think it's going to work. I did not think it was going to do this, which was uptrend, 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 uptrend all day long. But I knew it wasn't going to work anymore as a clean short after this pop. So there was no retaking it in here. So I hope nobody retook it in here. And, you know, there's no retaking it then in here at all. Let's look at the 15-minute really quickly. Yeah, I mean, I have no explanation for why this thing failed today, other than the fact it was struggling at that low of that one bar I showed you the daily at 1862. And just because it went down to 1858 doesn't mean then it wasn't going to hold the low of that bar because it dinged it only by 4 pennies. You know, you just play it out. You rate the gap, you like the gap, you have a bias, it sets up, you take it. If it sets up again in a reversal time, which this did, you take it. It had a move in it. It had a first move and it had a second move. There was money to be made in here. I made money in this, but it didn't have a big move today. I'm lucky I got out with a profit based on the fact that it flipped around. I could have made more if I had gotten out at that 58 number, but I believed in it. I stuck to my guns with it. The only thing was, seeing this now here that it didn't go back under, a more precise exit would have been to take it out immediately there. It's precision counts. Precision counts in this kind of market when it's tough trading days. Precision counts when something doesn't work right because you can make money, even a small amount, when the gap fails on the day. And precision counts when things set up perfectly. Why? Because then you take a lot of size and you're able to do that with precision. So I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what kind of market you're trading in. I don't care what happens to the gap, whether it works or it doesn't. Precision counts. This is what I teach in my class. It counts, it counts, it counts. This is what I teach in the class, and when I teach in my room, it counts. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what day of the week it is. It counts. And here's why. It's the difference between making 20, 30 cents on a gap that fails on the day or getting out with a loss, getting popped through your stock. It counts. This is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. I'd love to have you join me in my trading room. I'm doing a free trial this whole week until December 7th. If you're interested, please email me for more information. Or if you would like information about the upcoming gap classes, feel free to email me as well. Thanks and have a good night.